Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, it's Tim Bavard. Hello, welcome, you lovely Bavarians. Are you all well? You're not too cold. It's a bit cold, isn't it, outside? In here it's lovely and warm, so but yes, winter has come. But anyway, enough of that. Lovely to see you, thank you for coming. We don't have Piano Man Dan tonight. He's not very well, I'm afraid, so, but I'm sure he'll be back next month. Yes, now what am I going to tell you? I'm going to tell you that I'm very excited. I know that that is not a surprise to most of you who come regularly. Actually, can I ask you, who's in for the first time tonight? Any first time? Oh, lovely to see you. Oh, look at that. Hello. Oh, wow. Lots of you. Marvellous. Excellent. Right. Well, look, you don't know that I'm always excited. I am always excited. I hope that's not my phone. Because that's just how I am. And last month, I was very excited because I told you about a book that's coming out, written by Cicely Sponge from Polegate, who is this person who lives in a slightly damp two-bedroom maisonette in Polegate, and she writes to me relentlessly and has done for about 6 or 7 years. Who was in when I mentioned that last night? I suppose maybe some of you. And I just showed you some sort of rough copies of some of the pages from the book. But I've been sent the preview of the book, which is about to be published. Would you like to see it? Oh, that's good, because I was going to show you anyway. But excellent. Right, let me do that. Okay, so now the book is a book of nonsense. And it's been illustrated beautifully by our wonderful resident Bav artist, Maria O'Neill. So just have a look at this. Look, if it works, look at that. So this is, so it's called Letters from Cicely. It's a collection of Cicely Sponge's nonsensical letters to the Bavard Bar, illustrated by Maria O'Neill, and obviously written by Cicely Sponge. Don't know what Tim Bavard's doing there. Anyway, that's a typo. But would you like to see inside? Yes, you would. So inside, look, there's a little in memoriam there to my lovely dog that I occasionally would speak about, the Bavard, who died, bless her, in March of this year. But she had a wonderful life, so I thought, and look, Maria drew her and caught her perfectly. And the whole book is entirely nonsense, okay? Which is why that is on the right-hand side. It's got a contents and everything. It's a proper book. I couldn't believe it when it came back. Look, and she writes to me, this Cicely, about all sorts of things, holidays and travel, TV, food and drink, blah, blah, blah. She writes a lot about philosophy and spirituality, okay, but I'll come to that. There's a foreword, and you'll see this foreword is not written by Sir David Attenborough, nor is it written by Miriam Margolyes, Stephen Fry, Sandy Toxwood, David Williams, or Dame Maureen Lipman. There are many possible reasons for this, one of which could be that I never asked them. And it's not written by Jamie Oliver or Delia Smith. It's not a cookbook. Anyway, that's that foreword. And the book comes with stickers if you want. And the stickers, I'll show you, you see, without a foreword by Sir David Attenborough, and nearly commended in Polegate's annual Tupperware competition, which I think is important. So it's a prize-winning book, as well as not having a foreword by Sir David Attenborough. And I think that makes it pretty unique. But I'll just show you quickly some of the inside bits. So it's divided up into sections, and there's holidays and travel. You might recognize that, of course. Beautifully illustrated by Maria. And then these are the sort of letters that appear throughout the book, and they're all beautifully illustrated by Maria. And there's a reason for me telling you about this, but for instance, over there, dear Mr. Barr, I planned to go camping this summer. Instead, I spent a week sleeping in my kitchen with the windows open and the taps running. I've had the same experience and save a fortune on camping fees. I'd recommend it. So it's things like that, and Tom Cruise's Fungi and Ferret Farm, things. It's a sort of nonsensical book. But then, I thought I'd mention this to you, because many years ago, back in 2019, July, I had a talk here by the wonderful Sachi Kimura Lawson. She gave a talk on bum reading. Was anybody here for that? No. Was anybody? Yes. You were, Jill, yeah. Yeah. And a couple over there, yeah. So we had a talk here on bum reading. It's a thing. It's rumpology, if you want its technical name. The most famous rumpologist of them all was Jackie Stallone. So rumpology or bum reading is a thing. It's like palm reading, only not. And she came and she gave a wonderful bavard about reading people's bottoms. And it was fascinating and slightly weird at the same time. But and afterwards I said to her, look, you know, this is obviously something you do. Would you read my bottom? Not on stage, it wasn't, you know, the night finished. And she said she would, and she does trouser on bottom readings. It's not, well, you have to wear tight trousers. And what I learned is that, well, what we learned on the night was that your left cheek is your past, and your right cheek is the future. I don't know, she didn't really touch on the crack, but anyway, I'm guessing that's the here and now. Anyway, so I went for this bum reading. This is true, I'm not making this up. I went for this bum reading, and she read my bottom, and what happens is, she kind of channels some guides, she told me, and she was channeling these guides as she was reading my bottom. And she then drew these characters here. So these are the only two pictures that aren't drawn by Maria in the book. She drew these characters, and she told me that the left hand, the long-haired lady there, that was me in a previous life when I was a female Russian aristocrat in the 17th century. And the chap on the right was my husband. So, and she told me some other stuff, but I can't really remember it. I think it's gone to that part of your brain, you know. I put that to one side. Anyway, that was the thing. And so that's the book is. I mean, it contains those sorts of fascinating insights. That's, I think, why I'm sharing that with you, just so you know. There's another one. From October 2019, people, including Enya, often ask me what my inspiration was for Orinoco Flow. In the mid-1980s, I managed a plumber's merchant in Wimbledon. It wrote itself. Anyway, it's sort of full of these sort of silly letters.